All right. My mechanic was a tutorial system. So basically, a prompt system that activates on certain points in the level that will teach the player how to play the game. The first prompt is just kind of story stuff, a little bit of information, mainly that everything's broken. I wanted the player to know that everything was broken. That way, when a random fire starts in their ship, they know it's because their ship is falling apart. Uh, but just to make sure, I had this disable tooltips button, and when that is confirmed, the whole prompt system gets shut down and returns back to normal gameplay. But if you continue, it gives you your first um, objective, and that is to use the camera system, test the camera system. Once you press continue again, it will move to the side of the screen and almost show you all of the normal gameplay. Now, if you were to hit either of these buttons or A or D, you will scroll to the next camera. I then placed a first time bull on each of these cameras that when the first time they have entered it, it will give a little short description of the room. Some of them are even uh, a continuation button again, so you can't continue until you press the continue button. But this one here teaches the player that they can right click on these objects in here to move the NPC around. But I do have it disabled. You cannot actually click on anything. You can't right click, you can't left click until they basically finish that first objective. A little bit more information about this room. And then once you get back to the starting room, it will actually automatically go into the radar control tutorial. So press continue here. Again, the buttons don't work. There's nothing you can do except click on this thing. And if you notice, at first this arrow did not appear, but now that they're back in here, in the radar tutorial, the arrow appears to notify that that is what I am looking for them to click on. Once inside the radar, it's going to teach basic controls of the radar. So you can use these, press the center bulb to put the cursor back on the ship, and then the plus or minus. It waits a few seconds and then tells you that it was completed. Now move the cursor to any object. Once that is done, another prompt will pop up telling you need to go to the weapon system to fire the weapon. This system normally would have it to where if you click on this thing while it is white, it will destroy that object and take one of your rockets. I have it to where when you click on it, it does not take a rocket and does not destroy the target because I need them to learn that this is a QuickTime event, so I can't have them fail this QuickTime event. Wait for it. There we go. After destroying the target, the little radar will go away, and then they have this new screen. This is where it starts the tutorial on how to move the NPC around and about how to put out fires on the ship. So because we destroyed that asteroid, it's going to spawn a fire exactly where I wanted it to, and you can't do anything but right click on this fire. Once you right click the fire, it does allow you to cycle through cameras to kind of watch Steve, or the NPC, move around the ship. There he is. It will then, as soon as the fire's out, prompt the very last part of the tutorial, which is free play. It tells you how to leave the level by using the mechanics already shown. You need 100 scrap, and you load it into that engine where you can jump to the next level. Again, pressing continue from here actually starts the free play mode. So your oxygen actually starts to drain. Your fuel will actually start to go down. If your ship health or Steve's health goes all the way down, you will lose. That is the lose condition. It doesn't start until this point, but you now have a lose condition. And to win, you have to, well, fill up that drive. So we'll go ahead and do that as quickly as possible. Let's see, I should have enough. Yep. I'll tell Steve to come over here. Oh, we have another fire that broke out. I'm actually going to ignore it for now. There we go. And that's our win condition. Actually, another notice about that fire. A random fire cannot spawn into the ship until after that tutorial section is completed. Or if they disable the tooltips. The oxygen also never goes down until the tutorial is completed or they disable it. So basically during that whole phase with the prompts and the tutorial, they cannot lose. It won't spawn fires, so there's no pressure. But as soon as they get into free play, it plays like a normal level. But other than that, that is my mechanic.
Hello, my name is Anthony Schroeder, and I'm on Team Pretty Ape. As you can see, I will be playing the build 1.04 from the builds folder. It is the most recent one, so let's get that loaded up. Now my level prototype can be found here. It is a prototype that demonstrates the different kinds of alerts that are in the game. So let's get into it so you can just see it, and I'll talk some more about it. So all of the alerts are supposed to show up here. The fire one is a little bugged right now on this build, but from right to left we have the impact alert, which I can make go away by getting out of the way of all of these asteroids that were about to impact on me. But that is actually how this level is actually simulating that kind of collision event. Is these asteroids kind of come in on the player, and what you just saw is another thing that when asteroids actually impact each other, they all will randomly get sent in a new direction. Let's go and solve some of our other problems. As we can see, the fire alert going off right here that just says fire. It is a nice flashing icon like the rest of them, but I think it's blocked versus better. We're about to impact something else. So let's sort that out. Break up that fire. Of course, we're all go away. The fire's been put out, and now as you can see, the fire alert is also gone. This is just the text here is just a bug. As well that is going on with the fire alert, because some last minute functionality was tried to be put into it that wasn't exactly necessary, but I just wanted to maybe try to see if I could get in, and I forgot to when I couldn't get it to work, I forgot to remove it. So our last two remaining things are our oxygen is steadily going down, which I will need to quickly. This has all three, but will it give me enough? I just missed the red. Okay, so I have just enough oxygen to do this. I should probably go and get some more. What is this thing way down there? Rocket. Okay. We're looking for some oxygen to get this thing up. Right, there we go. There's some oxygen. Okay. Fill this up. So you can see the oxygen alert has now gone away. Currently, there is no way to get the ship health up. It's kind of just that implementation is yet to be added. But for right now, the alert is there, and it will go away if the ship health goes back up, even though it's not fully possible right now. So there are a few bugs I would still like to fix, such as it overlapping with the camera name here. That doesn't happen on different resolutions, so until I played the game full screen in this build, I actually did not know that they would overlap. That and the ordering. I'm not a big fan of the alerts kind of pulsing on different timings. Like if I were to get close to something, well, let's just go try to collide with something. Okay. So you can kind of see our alerts are flashing on different timings. That's kind of fine, but it's also a little annoying. So if I could get that changed, that would be good. Yeah, and obviously the current bugs that are happening with the fire alert, which shouldn't be happening, are very recent bugs. So those are what I would like to fix going forward in relation to this alert mechanic specifically. One thing that I can say about the alert mechanic, however, is it won't give you an alert if the alert isn't actually there. It is like a foolproof system in terms of like the alert will show and not show it's not there. The text is a little different right here, again because of the aforementioned bug, but everything else works as intended. Thank you for checking out the mechanic.
Hello, my name is Ben Martinez, and I'll be demonstrating the mechanic I worked on for Milestone 1. So to start off, we're going to be in Perforce and launch the build directly from here. My mechanic, once we get into it, is going to be a text box on the top left corner of the screen. That's going to you see here, it's going to read out all the information from objects that you scan in the radar. So before I get to that, we're going to go through these text boxes to make sure everything in the rest of the game works. Okay, I think we're good now. So now we go in here and find something to scan. Let's go for this right here. So as you can see up on the left hand side, all the info from the asteroid is displayed here. And then after you destroy the asteroid, it shows all the stuff you got, and then it goes away after a few seconds. And then we're going to scan another one. Oh, wrong way. And then if you happen to miss, just read out miss target, and then whatever you were scanning, once you go away or you destroy it, it'll bring up that no longer targeting message. So I'm just gonna go away from here, comes up, and then it's gone. So my main thought process was I just want to give as much player-facing information as possible so that the player can decide whether or not they want to go along with mining the asteroid or just leave it alone and looking for something else. And the way I have it set up is in the blueprint for the radar cursor. I set up a reference to the widget that has the text box in there, and I saved a text variable, and I created a function with a text variable input, and with that function I can either type something in whatever you want directly, or I can make appends and put in as much text I want in those appends and feed that into the input of the function, which goes directly into the text variable for the widget. And if it gets to a point where wherever the text becomes too much, the widget, the info holding the text is actually a scroll box. So I'm able to feed as much info as I want, and then up on the left hand side, if you mouse over it, you'll be able to scroll down and read whatever info you need. And the win and loss conditions here, for the win condition, I would say it's destroying the object correctly and getting all the info, and then collecting all of the materials, converting into scrap here, so that I can fill this charge bar here. But currently, as this build is right now, with the tutorial settings on, there's no way to actually win or lose, actually, because the lose condition would be is if the NPC's health goes to 0 or the ship health goes to 0, but those are currently unable to go down because of the tutorial settings. So I'm gonna fill out this one. You'll get a screen pop up that lets you know that you filled the bar, and then you finish this level. That's all I got. Thank you for watching.
So my name is Vinny, and this will be my prototype for my level. So I'm going to disable this so you don't have to go through it. That was the tutorial, which is not my mechanic. So my mechanic is making everything diegetic. So the diegetic part is for the radar. So back then the radar was just a radar. You gotta use the buttons, not the buttons, but the keyboard controls. So they press 1, 2, 3, 4 to like test it out, but they don't know what to do after that. So they gotta go back into the controls to say C to declare flight vectors, or V to engage flight plan on flight vectors. But they're not gonna read that unless they're like super into it. And then B to make ship patrol on x-axis, and to show quest marker, and the M to move cursor to the radar. So enter home ship to radar cursor. So that was before I made it was just a radar and you gotta use keyboard. Now when you press into the radar, you'll see that there's buttons on the radar. So I made a button that holds, not that holds, but there's controls and a button. So you can press up, you can press down, you can press left, you can press right, and then you can do patrol some way. Yep, there we go. You press patrol, and then you press patrol. You think you got patrol. You click on this, and then you do that. But let me fix that up. Yep, that was a weird bug, which I'm not gonna go into that room, but you did see it went patrol, and you could press patrol again to stop, and then patrol access, it goes the other way, and then you can stop, and then patrol access. These two buttons right now, patrol access up and patrol access down, or Z access up, Z access down, they're switched. So this will actually go down, and this will actually go up. So in the latest build, not the latest, in the latest version, it's fixed already. So another thing that we added, not that I put onto the radar, is this thing. It moves the cursor to the center, so you can click on it, hold it, do whatever. There's also another thing. Of course, there's the scanning thing. So let me get rid of this and go back to the radar room. And there's also the quest marker, so you know where to go to get like more materials, to find more asteroids. So hey, it's going that way, and you see this thing right here, and then you want to go up, you want to go right, and then you there we go, scanning, and then you press A again. It says press A. That's not my mechanic, but you do that, and then quest marker again. Just, hey, there's more stuff over there. Hey, I'm scanning, and it's another tier 1 asteroid. And hey, it's, if I don't do anything, it will just go away. So all the buttons are like right, left, up, down, and there's also a center one to go straight into the center when you're like out of range of stuff. So if you go like over here and then you don't know where it's at, you can just press center and it goes right back to the center. And then for the patrols, it also check for the fuel. So you press patrol. Okay, it's patrolling, it's going, and the fuel is also going down pretty slow. And then we gotta stop the patrol somehow, some way. And then if you stop, the fuel will stop going down. And then I think this the center doesn't use fuel. And then let's see. I mean, now I have enough scrap to win the game, but this is my mechanic, and yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, see ya.